But as I was thinking about this, and this morning I had a call with Gilbert Russell, who is one of our WizBank certified retail coaches and a dance retailer. And and Gilbert has a wonderful report on doing business, on setting your business up for doing your web presence. And so, Gilbert, I know that you're watching this. If you could put a link to that report in chat, I know that Gilbert is really, really smart, and this will be it's a checklist, and you should have it. So click on that and get it. But when Gilbert and I were talking about this, I said to him, because I've been thinking about this a lot, and he agreed that right now your number one job is reactivation. So think about this. In the last year, your customers have gone all over the place, right? If you had an e-commerce site, a robust presence, a good presence, they may have bought from you online, but they may have gone someplace else. They may have stopped dancing. Their children may have gone on to other hobbies. But so let's just recognize that you've got this whole group of people who were your customers, who were shopping from you, and they still may be. But the name of the game, your first marketing challenge and opportunity, is to say, how do I solidify my customer base? Recognizing that a lot of them went other places during this pandemic, how do I get them back? If they're dancers and they went to other places that may have been more convenient, how do I get them to come back into my store? If they're people who used to dance but no longer dance, how do I get them enthusiastic about dancing again? If they're people who had children who danced and they may have new other children who haven't yet started dancing, how do I get them involved? So I really want you to start really thinking about this. If you're taking notes, write down your notes. How do you reactivate? And we're going to go through some ways real quickly. So, but before we begin that whole conversation about reactivation, I want to share with you the future of retail marketing. And it's called omni-experiential. And if you look at this slide, you see that your business is in the middle, right? And it used to be, and these are all the ways that your customers experience you. And these are all the ways that they experienced you pre-pandemic. So you had a website, you send email, you've got review sites. Some people walk by, word of mouth, other dancers tell them about your store, local search, store, all of these things. But these are all the ways that your customers used to experience your store. But then the name of the game pre-pandemic was to drive them into your store. You might have an e-commerce presence, but it probably wasn't very robust. But, the name of the game pre-pandemic is drive people into the store. Now the name of the game is this. It is a giant, giant web, and everybody wants to experience your business, your brand, the way that they want to experience it. So you start thinking about this. Now the name of the game is to create options, create more ways, more robust ways for your clients to experience, your customers to experience your business. I'll give you an example of this. I was just talking about Misha Seto from the Platinum Mastermind Group. During the pandemic, she was shut down like everybody else, so she started doing Facebook Lives. And she got really good at it. She was very authentic. She's got a ton of personality. And she built those up. She did them every day, 5 days a week at noon for about an hour. And she found that noon was the best time because people who were working from home had a lunch hour, so they would tune into her crazy, wonderful show. She used comments sold to let people buy while they were watching her live. But then, so that was one way. That was one way that her customers could experience her. But then so she started averaging about $2,000 a day on her Facebook Live. Then she would take the show that she did and she would take it from Facebook and post it on her website, the homepage of her website, and she would have links to all of the things that she sold on her live show, right? So all of a sudden, and then she averaged $1,000. So she did 2,000 in live, 1,000 on the Facebook, but then she would use email marketing to drive people back to the show. So, and what's going to start to happen now, and what is already happening, is now all of these things are becoming more and more interconnected. Your Facebook Lives may show people dance wear, dance shoes, dance accessories that they like, but they want to come into your store to experience it. So just recognize that it is no longer about driving people just into your store. If you try to go back to the way things were, you are going to be run over when things become the way they are going to become. So recognize that this is omni experiential. Let me make sure I'm doing on time. All right. So what do people want? They want more ways to interact with you. They want to shop with you in your store. They want to shop with you via social media. They want to shop with you via your website. They want to shop with you over the phone. They want to shop with you by appointment. Let them shop with you the way that they want to shop with you, baby. I mean, this is the name of the game, isn't it? The name of the game is to let your customers experience you the way that they want to experience you. And let's back up for one more second. Even though the end is in sight, this pandemic is not over. And so I know a lot of states here in the United States are opening up, but that doesn't mean that people are comfortable. Until this pandemic is officially over, whatever that looks like, there's going to be a lot of people that will not feel comfortable coming into your store. So you need to give them other ways to experience your business. And this is just some of the ways. You need to give them lots of ways to experience your store and lots of ways to shop. People want more delivery options in store, curbside. Folks, I know curbside's a pain in the neck, isn't it? It's here to stay. It is here to stay. Convenience is king right now. If you're taking notes, write that down. Convenience is king, and curbside is really, really great. Local delivery, shipping. I don't know what's right for you and your business and your store and your bandwidth. I just want you to think about this. I want you to give it thought. How can I meet my people where they want to be met? So it's important to recognize this, that communication is so important. A wise man said, actually, it's me. I always like saying that. It's not your customer's job to remember you. It's your job to be remembered. So the name of the game is to stay in front of your customers, give them great information, scratch that itch, as I talked about, help them nurture their love of dance, nurture their children's love of dance. And you do that by communicating. And the best way to communicate with your customers is with email marketing. If you're taking notes, please write this down and underline it about 4 times. If you put little stars around your most important points, put a bunch of stars around it. Build your email list. A social media like is a rented name. It is not a real relationship until you get people to give you their email address, their text number, their physical address. You don't have a owned relationship. You have a rented relationship. And one of the biggest mistakes I see people making right now is this idea of I'm building a big following on social media. Mark Zuckerberg can take away your audience just like that. And to be frank, I trust Mark Zuckerberg to allow me to market to my community about as far as I can throw the Mackinac Bridge, right, which is right down the street, right? You need to, social media is great, don't get me wrong, but the name of the game is to convert those relationships, those likes and those follows, and turn them into something that you control, primarily emails. So build your list. So we got a couple minutes here before Q&As. I'm going to share a couple of really important things. I missed a slide. I just realized when we talk about reactivation, I'm going to go back 1 second here. When we talk about reactivation, one of my favorite reactivation tools is a gift certificate, not a coupon, a gift certificate. Remember I talked about the rule of reciprocity, givers get. If you want to get some reactivation action going, send your current customers. This is why you build your email list, a gift certificate. I love the idea of sending it in the mail. I was talking to Gilbert, and Gilbert's been part of our community for a long time. And I said, Gilbert, you use gift certificate marketing? He's like, yeah, of course. So I said, what's your favorite denomination? He said, $10. So let me ask you a question. Was it worth $10, back out your cost of goods, to reactivate a customer, to get someone who has already been your customer re-engaged with you? And I sure hope that you're going, heck yes, I need to get those people back in my universe. I need them back enthused about me and my dance store. In-store promotions is a great way for you to reactivate your customers. Again, you do not have to associate a store-wide discount with your in-store promotions. Make it fun, make it interesting, make it cool, show some love, but don't always make an in-store discount. Don't train your people to wait. Social media live events. I talked about that a little earlier. Facebook Live, Instagram Live. You can give them content that isn't selling. You can sell. But the point is that live social media is here to stay. And the sooner you get on the bandwagon, many of you may be on the bandwagon already. If you're not, the sooner you get on it and the more robustly you engage in it, the better off you're going to be. We have a client, a Platinum Mastermind Group alumni, who has a tax store, horse stuff. She created her own network, the Horse Shopping Network, right? She went all in on social media live, and she's just absolutely crushing it with it. It's a great way. It's part of that omni-experiential future. Private appointments and clienteling. You want to re-engage, reactivate your customers. You and your team, you just start calling. Hey, we haven't seen you for a while. If you feel comfortable, let's set up an appointment. If you don't feel comfortable coming in during regular store hours, let's set something up for you before or after hours. People love the personal attention that comes with private appointments. Clienteling is where you reach out to your clients and, just touch base. Are you ready to start dancing? Have you been dancing all through the pandemic? Do you have everything you need? Come at it from a place of love. Come at it from a place of caring. People are going to respond in a really, really wonderful way. One final thing before we get to the questions is I'm going to, one of the things that we offer free of charge is a weekly video blog called Real Retail TV. And you can go to our website and subscribe to our tip of the week and get it. But in this last week's episode of Real Retail TV, I strongly encourage everybody to do 3 things to get ready for this post-pandemic world. One was start hiring up. You need to have a staff for post-pandemic sales levels. Your marketing. You need to start thinking about what your marketing is going to look like in a post-pandemic world. And the final thing is your merchandise. And I'm encouraging you to overstock now so you don't get understocked or out of stock when everything starts to open up. So here's the reason that I shared this outlet Facebook group. I'm encouraging you to be as aggressive as you can afford to be in your stock levels now. And then if one of the best clearance tactics that all of our best clients are using is they create a special Facebook outlet, and it's a group, it's a Facebook group. And that's where they go with overstocks. That's where they go with the bad buys. So they're not having these big sales all the time. They're strategically and surgically taking goods that aren't moving and putting it on this Facebook group. And that's how they're, again, very, very wisely dealing with their clearance. Oops, excuse me. I dropped my clicker. So finally, before we get to Q&A, there are lots of ways that you can tap into Whiz-Bang Retail Training. If you go to our website, whizbangtraining.com, you can subscribe to our tip of the week. Every week you'll get 2 emails, one a tip on Wednesday, and every Sunday morning you'll get a link to My Real Retail TV. We have a Whiz-Bang Retailers Facebook group. I would strongly encourage you to go there and sign up. 5,000 people. It's super active. It is industry neutral. So you're talking and getting ideas from pet stores and bike stores and boutiques and gift stores. You're getting ideas from outside of your industry that you can apply in your industry. And finally, all of our social media. So there you go. So I would love to. We go to work every morning so that you can run a better business, so that you can make more money, so you can have more fun. These are the ways that we can help. So, all right, Q&A. I just saw Mickey Sampson jump on or come through on the chat. Hi, Mickey. How you doing? I know there's a lot of our retailers out there. So let's take some Q&A. We've got 7 minutes of Q&A. Let's do this.
All right. So we talked about.
Well, hang on one second. I need to turn my volume up. Okay, go ahead.
You talked about the importance of building your email list. Laura is wondering if you could share a few strategies for how to actually do that and build your list.
Yes, that's a great question. Was it Laura who asked that question?
Mm-hmm.
That's a great question, Laura. Well, there are several ways. The single best way to build your list is to have an amazing loyalty program. And, for most of the dance retailers I know, our 6-box program, are you hearing the feedback?
A little bit, but not too bad.
All right. We stole and now teach a loyalty program that's super easy to administer, and customers absolutely love it. It's called the 6-box program. And if you want to learn more about the 6-box program, you can go to whizbangtraining.com. In the primary navigation, there's a thing called blog, or you can go on a search and look. It's titled The World's Best Loyalty Program. And when you have a great loyalty program that you and your team believe in, the best way to build your list is to invite every single new customer who comes in. Say, wow, you're a new customer. This is awesome. I'd love to invite you into my Delightful Dance Club. I just made that up. But if you're a member of the Delightful Dancers, you get, this, and this. You get first crack at when we have sales. We always have a preview night. We have special parties for you. We do this for you. We do that for you. We do this for you. And of course, in order for them to get the benefits from the program, they've got to give you their email address so that you can tell them when all this absolutely amazing stuff is happening. So that is one way. If you have a website, there's these things called pop-up boxes, squeeze pages they're also called. I believe that Gilbert talks about those in his checklist. I don't want to state that, But the main thing that I would say to you is to have a great loyalty program. I saw a couple of people in our community sort of popping through. If you're a part of our community and you use the 6-box program, please share your experience, whether, and if you think it'd be good for other dance retailers, share your experience. I think it is, but it's better coming from another dance retailer. But that's the main piece of advice. Have a great loyalty program. Make sure that every new customer is invited into your loyalty program. And then when they join, you get the contact information just sort of naturally. Great question, though. Thank you.
Yeah, I think we have time for one more. Also, an email question from Mickey. So, once you have a list, what about open rate? She says, my email open rate is down to only 5%. Any suggestions on how to get that up?
Yes, and I can say this to Mickey because I know Mickey well. Mickey has spent a day with us in our office. Mickey, you need to make your emails more interesting. I say that, I'm not wagging a finger, but the reason that people open emails is because they feel like there's going to be something interesting inside. And one of the biggest mistakes that I see people make is that their emails become primarily a sales vehicle, right? Trying to sell something. I'm doing this, or this is the deal of the day. This is the deal of the week. You are in a business that caters to people who are enthusiasts. So, I know that Mickey had a big world record or state record dance off. What's going on in dance in your community? You can post links to videos that you found interesting. That video that we watched at the break, you could send out. I'm sure that manufacturer wouldn't mind you sending out that video. So, ask yourself, what do my customers want? WWMCW, what do my customers want? What kind of information? Do they want information on the local dance scene? Do they want information on teachers? What do they want? And then give that to them. And that's the first thing. The second thing is the main thing that drives open rates is subject lines. Because even if you have super interesting content all the time, what do people do? They look at who it's from and they look at the subject line. And so if your subject line is, dance sensation newsletter number 14, right? But if your subject line is the 3 best dance sensations, I don't, something that's interesting. So, Mickey, I would encourage you to do a couple things. I would encourage you to go back and look at your content. You might even want to send out an email saying, hey, I'm really excited about making this newsletter great again. Tell me what you'd like to see. So I would be very proactive about building better content for your audience. And I would also go back and I would study subject lines. And Mickey, I know you have the Retail Mastery System, which is our flagship product, which is something that everybody here should have. You can learn about it on our website, of course, but in the marketing module, there is a section called Copywriting for Retailers. And in that, there is a section on how to write subject lines. You don't have to have the Retail Mastery System to do that. You can get that, you Google how to write a compelling subject line, but that's really the essence. Better subject lines, better content. And then the final thing that I want to say to Mickey is this idea of, look, you're not going to go from 5% to 30%. And Mickey, you and I talked about this, about building your average sale. An inch is a cinch, a yard is hard. So if your open rate is 5% right now, your next goal is 7%. And then once you've figured out how to get to 7%, your next goal is 20%. As entrepreneurs, I think we want to be able to always, eat the whole thing. We want immediate big results. And it's not. It's a question of learning what your audience wants, writing better subject lines. Maybe it's frequency. I don't know. but be intentional about building your list and building your open rates. So that's a great question, Mickey. Thank you.
All right. I think that is all the time we have for now. Thank you so much, Bob, for sharing your wisdom. And big thanks to WizBang Retail Training for sponsoring this session. We are now going to take a quick lunch break until 2 p.m. when we will have our final session on planning for the rest of the year, what's in store, no pun intended, for 2021. We will be in this same Zoom, so feel free to leave and then come back using the same link, or you can keep your Zoom open if you would like, and we will see you back here at 2 p.m.